I want to thank you for joining me for this little mini-series. I've had a couple of sessions before this. We're talking about reaching goals, and that's something kind of on our mind, all of our mind. We started with the idea of making sure you have clear goals and being very specific. The more specific you can be, the easier it is to reach the goal. Then tie that goal to time, because you want to reach it within a certain time frame, and then write the goal down, because if it's written down, once again, it stays before you and you're more likely to reach it. And then last time we talked about deciding or determining your plan. And I've been using a travel analogy through these, traveling from Charlotte, North Carolina, all the way out to San Diego, California. You're not going to do that in one trip, just one swoop. It's too far, 2,500 miles or so, and it's going to take you several days. Now, there's no magic about it, but we talked about, okay, I'm going to take 3 days to travel from Charlotte, North Carolina, all the way out to San Diego, California, and I'm going to break it down day by day by day. The plan, I'm going to do this from Charlotte to northern Louisiana first day, northern Louisiana to West Texas second day, West Texas to San Diego the third day. And then having a way you can measure the metrics to determine how are you coming on your goal. Are you moving along each step of the plan in order to be able to reach it? Now today, last of all, what I want to do is I want to talk about choosing your tactics. Tactics are kind of like your tools. I think of a plan like your blueprint, and your tactics are like your tools. And in this case, we're using this traveling analogy, so you're going to get very, very specific. You're not simply going to travel from Charlotte, North Carolina to northern Louisiana, but you want to specifically talk about, okay, what days are you going to travel on? What time are you going to leave? Where are you going to stay when you get there? Do you have reservations set up so you know specifically where you're going? In other words, you're getting really, really detailed about what you're doing to help you actually implement your plan. And often I find when we're in business, what happens is we kind of go from the goal straight to the tactics, and we're getting in details, but we really haven't planned things out, and therefore it's a little bit like if you're going to build your child a tree house, and you just run down to Lowe's and you just start buying lumber. Okay? You don't have a blueprint, you don't really have a plan, and frankly, when you go to choose your tactics, your tools, you don't know what to choose. What size of lumber, what length of lumber, what width of lumber, what kind of power tools do you need? You wouldn't go buy all of that stuff until you knew what the plan was. Once you know what the plan, it tells you what tactics to use. So as you're making this analogy with me, we're traveling, I'm going to choose what days I'm going to travel on. I'm going to choose what time I'm going to leave. I'm going to choose where I'm going to stay. Depending on where I'm traveling in the country, I actually might choose where I'm going to get gas. Because if you've been out west, sometimes it's a long distance between one gas station and the next gas station, and depending on your car, you may not make it. So you have to kind of choose all those things, and you're getting into very, very detailed steps. And that's important because those are their tactics going to get there. Now in business, it might be, all right, what is my marketing plan? I'm here. I want to get here. What's the marketing plan? What specific marketing plan am I going to use, and what tactics am I going to put things on Facebook? Am I going to do things maybe on LinkedIn? Am I going to do direct mail? I mean, you get very specific about what you're going to use. Okay, so you begin to choose based upon what you think will help you get you there the quickest or the best. Okay, and those are all important because they all help you ultimately accomplish your goal. Now, I just want to encourage you, as this is a little simple mini-series really, but I want to really encourage you to give some thought. I think one of our big things is we're just kind of striking out. We don't have clarity. Often I use the analogy, it's a little bit like you have a bow and arrow, you put an arrow in the bow and you pull it back and you're like, oh, where am I going with this thing? Well, you got to have clarity, and it's very important that you have clarity. So I encourage you to review a little bit, look at these, but you need to develop clear goals, you need to determine your plan, and then you need to choose your tactics. If you do all that, you'll reach your goals, and that's what we all want to do. So hope this has been helpful. Thank you for tuning in. Take care.